When I say the middle of nowhere, we really are. This year, we were completely stranded. We estimated the cost in the millions of baht. Millions. We won't be growing rice again. Definitely not. So this is our farm and our house that we built. It took a bloody long time. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what it's like living literally in the middle of nowhere. And I don't say that lightly. When I say the middle of nowhere, we really are. Now look, yes, you could live more remotely than we do. Of course you could, everything's relative, but we're about a 10 or 15 minute drive to the closest village. But these villages really have nothing there. People live there and there is a kind of, you know, extremely small local shop that sells bags of ice and instant coffee, and that's about it, you know. We're 30 minutes away from the closest hospital or big supermarket or anything of any size like that. The access road, which obviously runs in that direction and also that direction, often, and when I say often, I mean every time there's a pretty bad flood, which has been the last 2 years, although granted before then it was 13 or 14 years, I think, since the last one happened. So I think we've just been very, very unlucky the last 2 years. I can't imagine it happening the next year and the year after that, but certainly don't hold me to that. Anyway, look, during those bad floods, the road is either completely cut off, both directions, or worse, it is damaged. It subsides, you know. And this year, we were completely stranded. Now, actually, when it happened, when the roads were completely cut off this year, which was in October, just 6 weeks ago, we were not living in the house at that point. We were about to move in. We were actually in the middle of the moving process at that point. Now, should it happen again, and look, it will happen again at some point in the future, we're now living here full time, and so we will be stranded. But we shall be fully prepared when that happens, you know, even down to having 2 kayak canoes. So we are completely ready for it. Now look, I've done various videos about how we get our electricity for the house. We have a fully off-grid solar system. We have 12 panels on the roof. We have obviously an inverter and powerful batteries, so the consumption sees us through the night. It's no problem. Ants are always biting me when I come down here. I need to stop it. Let me go and find somewhere else to talk from. I hate those red ants. The closest point of electricity for us is around about 5 kilometers away. And for anybody who has inquired about, you know, bringing electricity closer to your property within Thailand, you'll know that the cost of it is extortionate, and it's done per meter basically, because you have to pay for poles and the electricity cables and the connection of it all. I've seen other videos where people have attempted to do this and they've just needed electricity bringing about 100 meters closer to the property, and the cost is hundreds of thousands of baht. Not dollars, but it's still a hell of a lot of money. We estimated the cost to bring the electricity from the PEA government system to our property, to the edge of our farm, to be in the millions of baht, millions. And so instead, and very obviously, we opted for a very, very good quality, fully off-grid system. And it cost 460,000 baht, so a shade under 500,000 baht. And obviously then we get no bills, ever. If those batteries last 10 or 12 years, we'll be over the moon, you know? Because I would imagine that before those batteries come to the end of their life, we will have electricity supply going past this road. So at that point we can opt for an on-grid system, which we will likely do, rather than fork out for new, very expensive batteries in, let's say, a decade's time. Hey trouble. Hey trouble. Hey trouble.
Hey, we don't bite, do we? Hey, do you remember the talk we had about biting? About this exact thing that you're doing now? Eh?
So as you can maybe hear in the background, today is rice harvest day. Now, it's been a long time coming this, simply because for about 3 weeks I've watched neighbours starting to harvest the rice, and you know, apparently ours just wasn't ready. I think it was because it got flooded so badly, it was very, very wet, and perhaps it just put a bit of a delay on things, you know. I don't know, who am I to speculate about these things? All I know is today it's happening, thank goodness. Anyway, let's go and see what's happening close up. As usual, and I've gotten used to this, and there's no animosity there. I hope this doesn't come across as sort of bitter, because it really isn't intended that way. But my father-in-law is here, directing everything, taking charge, you know. It used to annoy me. A year and a half ago, I used to get really annoyed by it, but I've kind of accepted it now, and it is what it is. It comes from a place of love, so it's okay.
แม่นเบิดน่ะนะถ้าเหมือนปัญหาอะไรขาหยาบ่ได้เวลา
สวัสดีครับ
ครับ
สบายดีไหม
สบายดี
ดี
ไอ้มันบ่ดีดอกไอ้ไร have water now
Oh, so my day.
yeah ไอ้
Okay.
เจ้าโอ้มันเป็นของมันเด้อ
Personally, I think it's extremely important, if you are literally based middle of nowhere, to at least be comfortable and happy within your own environment.
Look, I put a blanket here for you. This is where you sit, yeah? Not on there. Money, look, on there. Move over there. That's it, good girl. Sit on there. Good girl, there you go, next to the donut.
Internet is absolutely vital, not just for us here, but for anybody in the world, isn't it? You know, it's absolutely one of life's necessities these days. And I think especially because we are so off the beaten track. Now look, we were very, very lucky with our internet, because obviously there's no option to just go through a local company or, you know, a national company and hook up your internet to the closest phone line and have instant internet, because there are no phone lines here. You know, there's nothing like that. You can opt to buy a mobile router. Now we did this, we bought it from AIS, and it's great simply because we're in an area with a very, very strong signal. Now look, this is why I say it was so lucky, because just 1 mile or 1 kilometre in either direction of the house down the roads, there are spots where there is zero signal at all. We also both have strong mobile phone signals. Again, that is just lucky. So the costs for that, the internet for the mobile router, that costs 399 baht per month. I'll whack a conversion on the screen for you, and that's for unlimited usage. And off of that we run Netflix and Prime on a couple of televisions. We run 2 iPads, 2 phones, what else? Our CCTV system runs off that. I think that's about it. But look, and it's strong. We never have any kind of buffering or Netflix or anything, you know. It's a great signal, and that's, like I said, around 400 baht per month. Mobile phones are similarly priced. We both pay around about 450 baht a month, I think. It's not unlimited, but I think I get something like 80 gig of data per month, and I must get something similar. It looks like they're starting the rice harvest again. They had to stop for half an hour because the dew on the grass, it's very early, was making the job very difficult, so they've stopped for a little while, had a cup of coffee, now they're back at it. Stamp, why? All the rice is gone. Listen to your dad. The rice harvest is finished now. There is the fruits of our labour. Don't look very much rice, that, does it? And it's still in its shell, its individual husk, you know. So the actual net weight of that is quite a bit less than that. You two, don't eat that. You've grown that bloody stuff for 7 months. You two guarding the rice, eh? Where have you been? Why are you so dirty? So this rice gets dried out now for 2 or 3 days. See, each grain of rice is in its own husk, its own shell right now. So once it's dried out, the next part of the process is to put it all through a machine that dehusks it. Because there's an individual grain of rice inside each of these. We won't be growing rice again. Definitely not. Well, maybe one rye, just a token gesture. That's it. I think it's completely counterproductive. I really do. Unless you've got 200 rye of land and you own all the machinery to sort of harvest it and do everything you have to do with it, I really don't think it's worth it. I really don't.